So as usual, we can begin with 3 ohms. So let's take a deep breath in. Namaste, everyone. Our usual disclaimer: when you attend this session, you do so with the understanding you're responsible for your own well-being. Life in Yoga and I and other volunteers like me, I don't take responsibility for the outcome of your attendance here. So with that understanding, let's begin. And please make sure whatever you do, you follow the rule of yoga. There can be no strain in whatever you do. Everything should be done with gentle stimulation. So keeping that in mind, let's begin the chakra vibration. So bring the awareness to the perineum and focusing there. As we squeeze at the perineum, we do lam, pressing on the little finger of the thumb. Lam. Lam. Release the fingers, continue. Lam. Bring the awareness an inch or so above the perineum, behind the pubic area, focusing there. We do Vam, pressing on the ring finger with the thumb. Release the finger, continue. Last time. Bring the awareness behind the navel. We do rum, pressing on the middle finger of the thumb. Rum. Release the fingers, continue. Last time. Bring the awareness to the throat, to the middle of the chest, in between the breasts, and here we do yum, pressing on the index finger. Release the finger, continue. Now bring the awareness to the throat, and here we do hum, thumbs up, loose fist. Release the hand, continue. Now bring the awareness to the middle of the head and we do chum. 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 Release the hands, continue. Now, bring the awareness to the top of the head. We do Om, thumbs up, loose fist again. Last time, release the hands and continue. Om. One last time. Om. Now we go on to the Ujjayi Pranayama, the happy face breathing. And those of you who know it, please proceed. And those of you who need instructions, bring your awareness to the lowermost part of the mouth, where the mouth, bottom of the mouth meets the neck. Focusing there, make a big smile with the cheeks coming out, and you'll find a slight stretch in the bottommost part of the mouth. Focusing there, inhale and exhale in slow, deep breaths. As you inhale, you'll feel a light sucking sensation, and when you exhale, it'll feel like a reverse sucking sensation. So please continue. Now, as we continue, we can do the shoulder rotations. Inhale in Ujjayi, lifting up the shoulders. Exhale, rotate it back and bring it down, and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now hands together at the chest. Inhale, stretch up and look up and lean backward, and exhale, chin down, and slowly bring the hands down. Continue the Ujjayi. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Make a fist and chin into the chest. And as you inhale, open out the palm, stretch out. And as you exhale, bring the chin down in again and bend in. And continue with Ujjayi. Last exhalation. Now, bring the tips of the fingers together. Inhale, push, and exhale, release, and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we can clasp the hands. Inhale, push and bend one hand, and exhale, release. Inhale the other way, exhale, release. Continue. Now we can go on to stretching out the hands. Inhale, lift up the palms and stretch out the fingers. Exhale, thumb into the palm, downward facing fist. Continue. As you're doing the hands, at the same time, you can do the legs too. As you inhale, lift up the toes, and exhale, come down, both together. Last inhalation, last exhalation. Now we go rotate around the wrist, inhale and exhale. Last inhalation and last exhalation. This direction, let's go reverse. Last, this thing. Now we'll go on to the leg again, and we will stretch out the legs, and we'll go around in circles. Inhale half a circle, exhale, complete the circle, and continue. Last inhalation, last exhale. Let's go reverse. Last inhalation and last exhalation. And now we can keep our palms right on our chair. We spread out the legs and keep it right in between. And pushing on it with as much weight as you feel comfortable. Continue the Ujjayi. Now we can go on to our elbows in line with the shoulders and fist below the chin. Inhale, go around the wrist, open out the palms, and exhale, close it in, and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Let's go reverse. last inhalation and last exhalation. Today we will go straight on to the 360-degree rotation of the neck. Exhale, bring the chin down to the chest. Inhale, half a circle, and exhale, complete the circle, and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Let's go reverse. Last exhalation. Now we will do the twist of the neck and the spine together, and we'll begin right, left, and back. We do ah, chin down, we do the humming. When we do the right, left, back, first round we do 3 times. So let's take a deep breath in and turn to the right. To the left. To the back. Chin to the chest. Next, second round, twice in each direction to the right. To the left. To the back. Chin to the chest. Now we can go on to the last round, once in each direction, to the right. To the left. To the back. Chin to the chest. Bring the awareness to the head, and we do Om or Ah, whichever you like. And some of you can even try. You can begin with Ah and end with Om, like Om. Now we go on to the our interlocking the hands and bring it behind the head. And as you exhale, twist to one side, inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the other way, inhale, come back, and continue. Last exhalation, inhale, come back. Get hold of the elbows behind the head. And as you exhale, pull on one elbow, inhale, come back up. Exhale, pull the other way, inhale, come back up, and continue. Last exhalation, inhale, come back. Bring the hands behind the back, get hold of the elbows. As you exhale, twist to one side, inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the other way, inhale, come back. Continue. Last exhalation, inhale, come back. Now, get your hands to the back of your hips, and as you inhale, push on one hand and make a backward arch. And exhale, come forward and continue. The other side. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we cross one foot over the opposite thigh and then grabbing the knee. As you exhale, pull on one knee and pull it towards the opposite shoulder and turn the head the other way. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull and turn. Last exhalation, pull and turn. Now we do 3 times lum. So take a deep breath in, exhale, pull. Lum. Now we get the other leg across. As you exhale, pull. And turn the head the other way and continue. Last exhalation, pull. Now we do 3 times lam as we pull. Lam. 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 Now, those of you who don't have balance issues, you can stand up. And those of you who have balance issues, you can be seated and do the same thing. Those of you who are standing, keep the feet shoulder width apart, inside of the feet parallel to each other. Get your hands behind the back, everybody, and get hold of the elbows. Take a deep breath in, and as you inhale, lift up the chin, pull back the shoulders, and make a backward arch. Observe the stretch you feel in the spine from the lowermost part of the spine all the way to the back of the neck. Now shift the weight to the left leg as you inhale and tilt slightly leftward. Now shift to the right leg and tilt slightly rightward. Come back to the middle. Take a deep breath in and tilt even further backward. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly come up and begin leaning forward. And with each exhalation, come down further and further. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring your hands towards the floor. Inhale and exhale into the stretch you feel from the hips to the feet. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, turn to the left. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, turn to the right. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, come to the middle. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, hold your ankles and pull yourself further down, trying to bring your chin in between your knees. Now take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, drop your head and try to bring it closer towards the area in between the knees. Take a deep breath in and slowly come up and take your seat. Oh, no, sorry. We'll do the going around the hips. Those who are seated, if you can hold something and stand up, you can do that. Keep the feet shoulder width or slightly wider apart, and we go around the hips. Inhale, half a circle. Exhale, complete the circle, and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Let's go reverse. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now you can take your seat. We will do the alternate nostril breathing. Begin inhalation from the left nostril. Exhale to the right. Inhale to the right and then exhale to the left. That's one cycle. And we can do minimum of 3 cycles. Those of you who have joined in the attendee list, if you want to join the panelists, you're welcome to do so. And today being Sunday, we have question, answer, and discussion at the end of the session. Any topics you want to discuss. Now we go on to the spinal mantra. We do the 7 mantras from the feet and ankle to the knees to the lowermost part of the spine, which is in between the buttocks and the back, and then the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, the cervical spine in the neck, and then in the back of the head, in the very top, called the Shikha point. The mantra for the feet and neck are the same, that is Aim. Now let us begin from the feet and ankle with mantra Aim, moving to knees where we vibrate Shim, and move on to the base of the spine where we do Jim. Aim, Shim, 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 Jim. Now we move from the base of the spine to the lumbar region, then to the thoracic or the back region of the spine with Jim, Jaim, Haim. So let's go. Jim, Jaim, Haim. 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 Now we move from the thoracic spine to the spine and the neck to the back of the head with Haim, Aim, Om. Let's go. Haim, Aim, Om. 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 Now we do all the 7 mantras in sequence, starting from the feet and ankle. Aim, Shim, Jim, Jaim, Haim, Aim, Om. 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 I'm Shim Jim Jam Ham Am. 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 Now we can go on to our Bhastrika. Let's get ready. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Ujjayi Kumbhaka followed by Brahmari. We can go on to the next round of Bhastrika. Let's get ready. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Ujjayi Kumbhaka followed by Brahmari. Now we can go on to the last round of Bhastrika. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 30. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 9. Exhale. Ujjayi Kumbhaka followed by Brahmari. Now we can get ready for meditation. Make sure you're seated comfortably and mentally tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. As you let go of everything, feel a lightness come onto your body. And if you have a preferred method of meditation, you can do that. Otherwise, bring your awareness behind the lower part of the sternum and visualize a rising vibration going through you and out of the top of the head. And the rising vibration feels like 3 syllables. Haim Im Om, Haim Im Om, Haim Im Om. And as you do that, we will have Om playing in the background. Mentally affirm to yourself, may I be guided to fulfill the purpose for which I am born. With that as the thought, become aware of the senses from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom of the feet. And whenever you're ready to open your eyes, raise the palm of your hands and look straight into the palm of your hands. With that, we end the session and we are open for questions or any discussion on any topic. So if you have any suggestions, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself and speak up. Yes, go ahead, Dalpat Bhai. Asha Sehgal, you can go ahead and speak up.
Yes, Dr. Rajan, namaste. And
Namaste.
first of all, my heartfelt thanks to you for all this service you are doing to us. My question to you is this: what are the health benefits of Ujjayi Pranayam versus the deep breathing?
Okay. Now, we have to be very specific when we say Ujjayi Pranayam, like the way we do it.
Yes,
Yes.
like the way you do it, right?
Yes, because what happens is in many places they do it with strain, like making a lot of noise. And that is not, from our perspective, the correct Ujjayi Pranayam. So the Ujjayi Pranayam we do, now, are you a physician or medical sciences background?
Yeah, no, I'm in the health and nutrition.
Okay. Do you know what is the vagus nerve?
Oh, yeah, sure,
Okay.
I do.
Okay. So actually what happens is the Ujjayi Pranayam stimulates the throat area where there are two of the cranial nerves that are operating.
Right.
The 9th cranial nerve is the glossopharyngeal nerve. The 10th one is the vagus nerve.
Yeah.
And the vagus nerve has a very interesting property. Both of these nerves get stimulated by doing this. And both of these nerves have very interesting, the vagus nerve has a very interesting property. It is in this area, throat and above, it gets messages from the brain, whereas from below the throat, it is sending messages to the brain. What are called afferent nerves. Afferent is what sends message to the brain. So the vagus nerve is mostly afferent, particularly below the throat. And above the throat, it is efferent. The
Mhm.
glossopharyngeal nerve is afferent above it only comes till the throat. So glossopharyngeal nerve really is afferent in the throat area. So both of these nerves get stimulated, and from the stimulation, the first thing that happens in the throat area is people who have snoring issues and potential sleep apnea. All of these you can find relief with the Ujjayi Pranayama. Now, there is another aspect of the Ujjayi which largely comes from the response going, the Ujjayi working below the throat. Below the throat, it impacts the cardiorespiratory system, the digestive system. It is connecting into the heart, the lungs, the stomach, the liver, the spleen, all the intestines. It's connecting all over there, the vagus nerve. There it is afferent, which means it is sending message to the brain about what its needs are.
Oh, okay.
Now, what happens is, in response to that, the brain actually works through the spine. Just so that for people who are not familiar, the vagus nerve is a cranial nerve, means it directly connects into the brain. Most of the other nerves in the body connect through the spine. So the vagus nerve is communicating directly to the brain of the cardiorespiratory digestive system needs up to the brain. And the brain responds for all these needs through the spine. And so from the spine, there are other nerves that are also connecting into the heart and lung area and all the digestive areas. And those are the ones which are efferent in nature. That is, they are sending messages down to fulfill whatever is needed there. So what does it do? Effectively, when it sends the messages, it is largely impacting blood flow into the area where it needs to go. And why is blood flow important? Blood is what carries oxygen and glucose to all the cells in those areas. And when there is more energy produced in that area, it is able to resolve whatever the needs are of that area, right?
Right.
Now, what has been found is the Ujjayi Pranayama, and we suspect it is about, of course, the vagus nerve stimulation is known scientifically to be anti-inflammatory in nature.
Oh, okay.
It stimulates all the anti-inflammatory elements in the body. And so what happens is, the result of it is, the vagus nerve has very interesting properties that covers a whole range of things. Some people who have inflammation in the bottom of the feet, what is called plantar fasciitis, right?
Right.
When they do the Ujjayi Pranayama, the plantar fasciitis goes away.
Oh.
Now, for people who have asthmatic, inflammation in the airways, obviously, when a person has an asthmatic attack, they need to first use a bronchodilator immediately so that they can breathe. But once they can breathe, the inflammation doesn't go away that rapidly. It takes a long time to go. And that is why people have steroid inhalers to address the inflammation, right? So if you do the Ujjayi Pranayama, the inflammation, the respiratory passages come down. Now, there is a very interesting, the Ujjayi Pranayama effectively has a very interesting component in improving the nervous communication all over the body. For instance, people who have this carpal tunnel syndrome, by stimulating that part and then doing Ujjayi, they will immediately find in about 15 minutes relief in those areas. Now, another interesting thing which we have seen is that some people who are diabetic have a very strange phenomenon. The phenomenon they have is when they are, let's say if you are people who are chronically diabetic, they are very systematic in measuring their blood sugar in their body. So what they do is, let's say they have dinner at 6 or 7 in the evening, and 2-3 hours later they check their blood sugar, and those of you who know what is considered the right level is that if you're fasting, your blood sugar should be in the range of around 100 or less, right? If it goes up to 102 or something, nobody worries. But the idea is you want to be, they say 65 to 99 is best. In fact, what we have found is that the best level of vitality, what it keeps up is if you're around the 90s. 90s keeps your vitality up and you're in a good zone too. Now what happens, but on the other hand, what is called postprandial, glucose level, that if you have had a meal and 2 hours later you take the reading, then in which case it is typical to find it between 135 to 165 as the reading, right? That's considered the normal zone. Now what happens is, let's say somebody who is managing their diabetes with medications, everything, 2 hours after their dinner, they're taking in, they find they're between 135 to 165. But then the next day morning, when they take the reading fasting glucose, the glucose level is above 160. So if the fasting glucose stays high in next day in the morning, why is that happening? And what we have seen is, this is because it is the same phenomenon related to the why people snore and have sleep apnea. You know, when you're awake, you're not snoring. But when you're sleeping, you're fully relaxed. You're so relaxed that your nerve sensitivities go down. The peripheral nerves sensitivity goes down. And that is the reason the muscles that are in the throat area, they collapse or narrow, and so the snoring comes on. And if it collapses, it becomes sleep apnea, right? Now, the same kind of thing, what happens is, when the nerve communications are not strong enough in the liver dumps the sugar into the whole body. Actually, the pancreas also has a function there. The glucagon that is released is the one that is enabling the conversion of the glycogen from the liver into the whole bloodstream. So what happens is, by doing Ujjayi Pranayama, people who are getting high, readings of this fasting glucose in the morning, people who are diabetic, whereas in the evening they find after 2 hours the postprandial reading is looking good. By doing Ujjayi Pranayama, the control of the sugar in the blood improves for the morning fasting glucose. So you can imagine how the Ujjayi Pranayama working through the peripheral nerve control in so many different ways, it has extraordinary impact in many, many aspects of the functionality from a health perspective. Now, from a spiritual health perspective, the text of related to Ujjayi says that this is a connection between the sternum area, the Atma Chakra area, to the brain. The brain is as you can understand through the nervous system, it regulates the vitality in the body. How does it regulate? By making sure it is directing blood flow where the energy is needed as it deems appropriate, right? So what happens is, the Atma Chakra is our cosmic connectivity. In between the Atma Chakra and the brain is our Sushumna Nadi, which is the balancer of our innate program with the external needs. So what ends up happening is, the Ujjayi Pranayama is considered the great balancer that brings your purpose for which you are born, your Swadharma, to be in sync with the inner vitality production in through the brain control. So that is why Ujjayi Pranayama is actually considered the highest pranayama. Actually, it is very interesting. While many people talk about the alternate nostril breathing, what we call as Nadi Shodhana Pranayama or Anulom Vilom Pranayama, right?
Right.
They think of it as a very important one. It is important. But the highest pranayama is actually considered Ujjayi. Now, when we do Ujjayi, we are only focused on the throat. And that is the safe way to do it. Now, the textbook way is to visualize it, right, connecting from the Atma Chakra to the brain, the movement up and down is what it recommends, what it states. But then, to do that Ujjayi Pranayama, according to the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, only after you have done enough of alternate nostril breathing and asana practice and Shatkriyas to cleanse the nadis, you're eligible for the higher pranayamas. And Ujjayi is one of the higher pranayamas. And of course, in the Hatha Yoga language, they don't call it pranayama, they call it as Kumbhaka. Ujjayi Kumbhaka is what the name they give. So what happens is, when we do the Ujjayi, we only focus on the throat. We don't do the visualization. The reason we don't do the visualization is, if you visualize movement, then in which case, if your Sushumna Nadi is not clear, then if any chakra is blocked, it can create damage to local organs. And so we do it in the safest possible way. We do it immediately after the chakra vibration, because when we do the chakra vibration, it at least momentarily clears the chakras. So if we do the Ujjayi, and if anybody by mistake does it with visualization too, there is no problem. But it is only at that time. But it is even safer to do Ujjayi anytime focused only on the throat. Then in which case there cannot be any problem. So the Ujjayi we do is actually the lower kind of Ujjayi. The higher kind of Ujjayi involves a visualization. So you can now understand from a physiological perspective as well as from the spiritual perspective, the Ujjayi pranayama is considered very, very important and a very high level pranayama that has not only spiritual benefits but also physiological benefits.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rajan. Just like one follow-up, like you said, it reduces the inflammation in the body, right? So, like if during the day or any time, we can still keep on doing the Ujjayi Pranayama without...
Yes, you can. And you can do it if you are doing regular walking with your awareness there, you can do that too. The one thing I will say is, there is another aspect in many of these breathing exercises. Now the Ujjayi Pranayama, because of the way in which you focus on the throat and do, it may be also producing nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator that reduces the inflammation in the body. Now, interestingly, the Brahmari that we do, the humming, that has similar kind of effect too. It's a nitric oxide producing, and then as a vasodilator, it has significant impact. In fact, what we have found is that for many people, and you can relate to this, as people age, the blood vessels, the arteries begin to harden and sometimes become narrow and things like that. And that is the reason you don't have the same level of vitality as you're younger. And then you start getting aches and pains and things like that. And in fact, people don't even realize, when people complain of arthritis as they age, the arthritis is actually, it happens because there is not enough energy flow going into those areas, as a result of which there is inflammation, and the connective tissues over there do not have enough energy to bend the joints and things like that, and that is why people start getting pain. So the circulation of the blood, to improve it, we do it in multiple ways. Brahmari Pranayama actually has a very interesting element with the nitric oxide, particularly increasing the perfusion of blood in the muscles of the heart.
Oh.
We have tested a few cases. Because it's only two or three cases we have looked at, and we have been able to see what is happening there. Until we have about a few more, maybe half a dozen or 10 cases, we won't publish it. Because you see, unless we can see enough cases together, then we'll publish the thing. But that is the effect that we have seen of how all of these help. And you can see that is the reason we pay attention to Ujjayi. We do the Brahmari and the Bhastrika for circulation, and we sometimes do the Haim mantra focused on the chest and the Haim Nam for the circulation. So these are the ways in which we work with the pranayam here.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajan.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you very much for your explanation. Thank you.
Namaste.
Dr. Rajan, wonderful explanation. It is outstanding. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Babu.
very much, Dr. Rajan. I didn't know about the diabetes, but it's interesting to know for the blood sugar. So thank you so much for explaining.
Yes.
So
Actually,
it is good for the people who have diabetes. They do this.
see, what happens is you're thinking like a physician. Like if a person has diabetes, which is the symptom of poor sugar control. Whereas from a yoga perspective, we are less interested in the symptom and more interested in the root cause. So what happens is, I only gave you one minor example of impacting one segment of sugar control, and that relates to what happens when you sleep. The nerve control in the liver relaxes, as a result of which it dumps the sugar into the blood supply, right?
Yeah.
So that is only one little thing.
Yeah.
But-
I'm saying just in adjunct to that, means don't leave anything what the doctor says, but in addition to that.
Yes, but let's examine a few aspects related to how the Ujjayi can help. But Ujjayi alone will not take care of diabetes.
Yeah.
When people have diabetes, it is related to multiple reasons. You see, the old school of diabetes used to focus on insulin insufficiency, and they used to focus on insulin. And so if there is pancreatic insufficiency of insulin, we have actually seen that if a person does Kapalbhati 3 times a day for 15 minutes each time, and it is done gently, then there is no longer insulin needed. If anybody has insulin-dependent diabetes, they need to do Kapalbhati 3 times a day, 15 minutes each time, and they can completely get rid of insulin. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that is true, because when they do Kapalbhati, the pancreas is stimulated. So they talk about that. But thank you so much. It was so nice. You
You're
explained.
welcome. But on the other hand,
Mhm.
most cases of diabetes are not insulin insufficiency. Most of the cases you see is what is known as insulin resistance.
Yes, correct.
When you talk about insulin resistance, what exactly is it? What exactly it is within our blood, when we eat food and things, the sugar that is digested and it goes into the blood supply, the hemoglobin cells are the ones which are carrying the sugar. They carry the sugar and the oxygen to all parts of the body. Now, what happens is, when people are stressed, and if we say stress is the cause of the insulin resistance, what exactly happens is the hemoglobin cells lose their shape, but because of inflammation, they become inflamed. When they lose their shape, the receptors over there are unable to recognize the insulin molecule in the blood. And that is what is the real insulin resistance. So when there is insulin resistance over there, then in which case the only way in which to overcome insulin resistance is to de-stress, to do meditative practices. Mantra meditations can help to actually overcome insulin resistance. The other thing is Bhastrika Pranayam gives enough energy to make sure that insulin resistance will sustain. Ujjayi Pranayama will increase the nerve stimulation to make sure that too is basically taken care. So in other words, for people who are diabetic because of insulin resistance, one exercise alone won't solve the problem. They need a sequence of 2-3 exercises together. And more so, what it is they need to be disciplined. And it can take a long time before they can overcome, especially for people who have been chronic. For people who are recently diagnosed with insulin resistance diabetes, it is very easy to take care of. But the biggest problem is the mind of those people. The people who develop insulin resistant diabetes when they are in their 40s, it is because of the stress of their family and their work that they are dealing with, and they don't want to ease up on those. They want to continue the stressful way in which they are working and living their lives, and they rather want to pop a pill and take care of it and move along. When they do that, and after another 20 years or 30 years after having diabetes, if they want to overcome it, then it is going to take you another few years of daily practice where you need to be very, very regular. You cannot miss a single day. And that is why, for most of the people, even though we have a yogic solution, it may not work very well.
Thank you so much, Dr.
You're
Rajan.
welcome.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other quick questions, follow up on these two subjects?
Dr. Rajan, can you do Ujjayi Pranayam anytime?
Absolutely.
Okay. Morning and
But it
evening.
has to be done with ease. And remember something.
Yeah.
While all these practices can be done anytime, it is important to remember, actually we have to be very careful. I can't say that. You cannot do Bhastrika Pranayama immediately after having a big meal.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
But on the other hand, Ujjayi Pranayama and alternative nostril breathing, if you do it after a meal, it's not as effective as when you do it when the energy is not focused on digesting your food.
Okay, correct.
Right? So all of these practices are best done when you're light in the stomach.
Morning time. Okay.
Actually, what it is a good way, if you have to do it multiple times in a day, which is required for therapeutic purposes, you can remember to do it before your meal times.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
So if there are no other questions, we can end here. Or if there is any one last question, we have the time. Okay. Namaste, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajan.
You're welcome.